Alright, nice to have you here for the second video about how different signs of the zodiac change as they age and as they mature. I am Nadia, the astrologer for people who do not believe in astrology, and if you're new to my channel, I will link up a video here where I talk about why astrology may be a good thing for people who do not believe in it. The aging hero of today's video is Aquarius, the final one and the most mature of the three air zodiac signs. Aquarius is often associated with critical thinking, progress, civil movements, objectivity, weirdness, and genius. The traditional birthdays for the sign are from the 20th of January until the 18th of February, but on some years, in some corners of the world, people born on the 19th of January and on the 19th of February may also have their sun in Aquarius. So if that's you, just double check. What if you are in Aquarius? So how do Aquarius people age? The moment they're born, just like everybody else, they get their natal chart that will not change ever. In this natal chart, their sun, which is responsible for the self, the personality, and also the story that we are telling about ourselves, is in Aquarius. Together with this natal chart that will not change, a person also gets two different developmental charts, and those charts immediately start developing. The celestial bodies in those charts are moving so slowly that the progressed sun, which is the sun in those two developmental charts, starts out at the same point in the Aquarius as the natal sun, and it can change signs up to 3 times during one lifetime. So first it will be going through Aquarius, that's the first developmental stage. I call it astrological kindergarten. It can last from anywhere from 0 to 30 years. So if you're a late Aquarius, it may take something like a couple of years. If you're an early Aquarius, up to 30 years. This is the stage when you're dealing with circumstances, tasks, events that are more Aquarian. Then comes the Aries phase, and the progressed sun moves through Aries during the next 30 years. And then come the, this was the Pisces. So first the Aquarius, then the Pisces, then the Aries. Kindergarten, school, university. So, depending on your date of birth, this is how long the first kindergarten Aquarius stage of your life is going to take. This is the stage when your progressed sun moves through Aquarius. What that means is, so there's this one thing that is obvious about almost every Aquarius, and it is that they are at least a little bit not like everyone else. And very often it may also be obvious right from the start. So the parents of Aquarius babies often call them little aliens. And they do, those newborns, often have those this weird way of looking at everything that surrounds them, you know, as if they knew that this world, or even this time, were not the only options out there, and as if they were a little bit confused as to why they were placed here and not where they were expecting to be, or confused about how this place and time is not what they expected it to be. So, some parents see it as a good thing, some parents see it as a bad thing, depending on how normal they want their child to be. And then depending on that, the little Aquarius will get either positive or negative feedback from their parents. This is also the stage when the little Aquarius has to develop their critical thinking, and even more importantly, their argumentative skills. The thing about Aquarian intelligence is that it is best developed through conflict. So someone opposes the little Aquarius, and the Aquarius has to work hard to prove that they are right. Those may be open arguments with parents or other authority figures, or if that is not safe yet, it can also be silent fights that the frustrated and indignated little Aquarius plays out in their minds, arguing with some like annoying, terrible people, and wins. No. Of course, having well-meant constructive dialogues with intelligent, loyal, instructive people is better for development. But even those silent fights, they are also a step in the right direction for the little Aquarius. Another thing that little Aquarius is known for is that they are not very good at obeying. And there's also another sign who is also known for exactly the same thing, which is Sagittarius. But Sagittarius children often truly, genuinely do not perceive the rules or limitations that much. So they may honestly not hear, not remember, not notice, forget. Aquarius is a whole different story. One of the ruling planets of Aquarius is Saturn, which is literally the planet of limitations and structure. So rules attract the attention of the little Aquarius, and also its critique. Aquarius is motivated to locate the rules that they find stupid and attack them. And this, understandably, irritates the parents of the Aquarius, who are normally the rule givers in the household, right? And best case scenario is that those parents treat their children with respect and engage in respectful, constructive dialogue about the rules with those little stinkers. Not because the rules that they have introduced are bad, but to help their Aquarian children develop those very needed skills of argumentation, persuasion, negotiation. That is actually a great service. Of course, if the parents themselves are bad in all of that, they would want to just shut the little Aquarius down, which is sad, but it's not like it doesn't happen. Empathy and emotional expression may be slightly impaired at this stage in Aquarius. This is the stage when Aquarius has more respect for truth rather than for kindness. So if there is some child that upsets other children, telling them that Santa Claus does not exist, this may be an Aquarius. They are also the children who are more likely to piss off the more authoritarian kindergarten teachers, primary school teachers, teachers in general, but they are not as likely to pick on the weaker underdog children. They don't find it as interesting as some other children. And when they themselves get emotionally overwhelmed, instead of expressing those emotions in the more watery, like feeling-centered manner, they just start acting more weirdly. That's what they do. At this stage, the little Aquarius may get fascinated with some mechanisms or tools and be completely fixated on them. Or they can also be just as fascinated with some rebellious, original, alternative role models and get just as fixated on them as well. And also they are very motivated to look for interesting, original ideas that are not like the mainstream ideas, and to also get identified with them. And that may be problematic Why? Because the unoriginal, uninteresting, mainstream ideas are often mainstream because they're actually helpful. But the little Aquarius is just not motivated to try to see if maybe this is actually the case. And this may create problems also in school, because a lot of what is done in school is basically indoctrination. Also in a good way, I would say, right? But the Aquarius is wired to either oppose it or at least find it so disengaging that they would just give up on learning. There are, of course, nice progressive schools that are good for those children, but it's not even necessary always, because school is usually also the place where the little Aquarius finds their first circle of friends. And this is very good. It's always good when Aquarius has friends. Even better if they are also some kind of weirdos, right? So the Aquarian character can manifest in either being the rebellious outsider, not happy with anyone, or a part of a group of the people who share his or her, interests, ideas, and so on. And the more they are aligned with the group, the less they are bugging their parents, the rule givers. So then, after this stage, the progressed sun moves into Pisces. And Pisces is a watery sign, and water in astrology is associated with feelings. And now suddenly, this rational structure that the Aquarius has been building is flooded with so much of those feelings that it's impossible to get rid of them. Depending on your birthday, this is what years of your life this second school Piscean stage of your development will occupy. Now, Pisces is an incredibly porous sign that absorbs pretty much everything from their environment. And at this stage, the little Aquarius, the not so little Aquarius, the like teenage or young adult Aquarius, gets access to their own feelings, yes, but also to the pain and suffering of everyone around them as well, in different, amounts. People, animals, plants even. And this may lead to them using the same resolve that they used previously to fight for their own rights. But more often than not, it leads to them being a little bit more overwhelmed and immobilized, because for two reasons. One is that, Pisces is a kind of a passive sign, and also being overwhelmed with feelings is immobilizing, also not very good for action. And this sheer amount of emotions is also so much that Aquarius people themselves at this stage, they say that it's too much. They want to numb those feelings out, get rid of them. I like this cute idea about Aquarians. It's that they are actually highly evolved souls from other dimensions that decided to come here to our Earth to help us, but they didn't count on, or they were not ready for the amount of feelings that they would have to actually feel if they incarnate in a human body. And this slows them down and is making things confusing for them, and they're not as effective as they could have been. I think it's a nice story about human experience. So this second Piscean stage is also the stage when the Aquarius can develop an interest in the occult. For example, they may feel the energies or be sensitive to vibrations, or no idea what I'm talking about, but they may have a direct experience of something that other people may call supernatural. Now, Pisces is a watery sign, and water may also become more influential as an element. For example, hormones, which are transported through the body with liquids and fluids, they may become more important in the person's story, They may be changes that are connected to puberty, or the hormonal recalibration that surrounds childbirth, or even some hormonal imbalances that are not connected to childbirth but also have to be, you know, addressed. Or, in a more literal sense, water can become more meaningful as a location for holidaying or water sports or relaxing baths and showers or whatever. Fish as a sign, the Pisces, they are kind of directionless, and this is how the Aquarian people may also feel at this stage. But even if they do, they would still be motivated to look for something bigger than them and maybe become a part of it, because this is what Pisces stands for. It's kind of like where we transcend ourselves and when we form a connection to something that is bigger than us, wiser than us, more meaningful than us, more important than us, more beautiful and, I don't know, nice than us, right? A nice solution for the Aquarian would be to find a collective or a professional association or a social movement and be a part of it. And maybe even forget about themselves a little bit. And it may feel nice, but unfortunately, the side effect is that immediately it may lead to the Aquarius becoming more complacent, which for them is bad, but they learn. So after a while, more like after those 30 years of their progression traveling through Pisces, they will learn how to both be a part of the movement of the collective that they value, and at the same time rebel against the stupid rules and ways of those communities. Good. So now finally, after 30 years of being immersed into this world of extreme emotional sensitivity, which is this Piscean second stage of development, the Aquarius is allowed to emerge into the world of action. And this starts when the progressed sun moves from Pisces into Aries. This starts this third university stage of development, depending on your date of birth. This is which years of your life this 30-year long stage will occupy. So first, in the Aquarian stage, the Aquarius learned how to think critically. Then in the Piscean stage, they were learning how to feel and empathize. And now they have to learn unapologetic action. Before, they were limited by either their propensity for intellectualization, so those who think too much don't act, or their entanglement into the feelings of others, which is also, not conducive to action. But now that they have finally, reached this Aries stage of their life, they can appreciate the wisdom of the fire signs, which says that it's impossible to make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. And it means that assertive action is guaranteed to make at least some people disapproving or disappointed in you, right? And at this stage, the Aquarius is freed from the need to convince those people that they're right. This is like getting the red pill in Matrix. So the fire signs, like Aries, they are natural born leaders. And the Aquarius in this stage may also assume a leadership role and develop their leadership qualities, but because their interests lie more in the direction of social, communal or intellectual, they will use those leadership roles and skills more to champion the causes that are either more intellectually progressive or will lead to or will benefit society at large. Good for everyone. an interesting thing about Aries is that this is the youngest first sign of the zodiac, and at this stage the Aquarius also may start getting compliments about how youthful they look, even if they have the normal amount of wrinkles and grey hair. It's just kind of like this youthful aura that shines through. Another thing about Aries is that they are sometimes rude. For an Aquarius at this stage of development, being rude can actually be good for them. Why? Because for those previous 30 years, as their progressed sun was moving through Pisces, they may have had problems with setting and maintaining boundaries. But now they can finally do it boldly, but not in the cold, unthoughtful manner. No, they have been developing very long, emotionally and intellectually. It's just that now is the time when they have to also develop assertiveness, which is what they do. Yeah, also during this previous Piscean stage, they were more likely to blame themselves for the things that were wrong. But now that they have the access to the fiery Aries energy, they can now finally appreciate what incredible assholes they have been dealing with and get angry. And this will sometimes lead to editing some people out of their circle, which is good for them. But of course there is the bad option, as almost always. So for example, if we're talking about an Aquarius who did not have the resources to create opportunities for action, and they have to remain passive, but they have all of this fire inside of them, they may just turn angry and bitter, which is bad. Do not wish that upon anyone. So hopefully you are now on the way to developing the resources that you will later be able to use to create opportunities for action, so you can act confidently and not be angry and bitter. Good. So this was the story about how Aquarius people age as they progress from the first kindergarten Aquarius stage of their life to the second Piscean school stage of their life to the third university Aries stage of their life. I will link a video about how other signs change as they age, and I don't know, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, press something, share your experience, ask questions. See you in the next video.